Today I'm going to show you how to create a group for your parents to use and for you to use to communicate with your parents. So first thing you're going to do is log in, and then you're going to go to groups, and you're going to hit create. And you're going to name it whatever you'd like, but obviously you want to make it something that makes sense. So I'm going to name it Mrs. Rogers, 3rd grade, since this is her account and I'm borrowing it. You want to make sure the privacy is set to everyone and the access is set to open. And go ahead and hit create. Once you get to your group, you notice that there are some things here that you can set, and we're going to go through these one by one. First thing you can do is edit your picture that pops up here. So if you just hover over it like that, you can hit edit picture, and then you can click on attach file. Now I have a bunch of pictures on here, but you can take a picture from anywhere on your computer. I'm going to do the bee reading because it's kind of cute, and I'm going to put that in there. Alright, you can see it popped up. Close that out. So now I have my picture there. So in this screen right here, you have some options here. You have updates, discussions, albums, members, and resources. And then in the middle, this is where the updates will be, or if you switch to one of the other menu items over here, discussions or albums or resources, that'll be in the center. I'm going to go back here to updates. You also have a calendar over here. You can add events to the calendar by clicking on add event. So if you know that the pajama party is coming up, you can put that on the calendar and say, hey, that is the 9th of September. They don't have to RSVP. I probably disable comments. Right, and you can put a description in here. Everyone wear their pajamas and bring lots of books to read. Whatever you want in there. So I'm going to do save changes. Okay. Now if I click on the calendar and go to there's the pajama party I added. Updates. This is where you can push out things quickly. You could post your newsletters here if you want. There's lots of different things you could do, but this is a text editor, so you just type in here. There are a few things you can do with it. You can make the font a little bigger, you can underline, you can put bulleted lists. But these down here, you can also add a file, if you click there, right from your computer. It's best to use PDFs because those are universal and everybody can get to them. But let's say that I want to add a PDF here. And let's say I want to put in, what is this one? Not that one. How about this? Alright. So I can add that onto as an attachment. I can also put a link in here. So if I have a link that I want them to go to, can do that. I can add something from my resources. We'll look at that later. I can actually do an audio-video recording of something if I wanted to. So I can audio record directions or something else. I can also in here do a poll. So I could add a poll on here as to, hey, what do you think is the best meal of the day? I don't know. And you can add options, so you could do a poll in there as well. Alright, so I'm going to take that off of there though. It's a toggle switch, so you can toggle it back and forth. It must be a big one because it's taking a long time to upload. Should have known that. Um, so the reason I'm showing you this though is because you could, if you do your newsletter, you can type it all out. You can make it a PDF and just attach it here. Okay, so I'm going to hit post, and so now that gets posted, and it'll show up right here in the feed. You could do discussions. I wouldn't recommend it with your parents because that's not really a big thing we're doing. Let's look at photo albums. If I click there, I can add an album, and this might be fun for, let's say, first week of school. And maybe you took some pictures of the first week of school. You do need to be careful of putting kids' images up here, especially on the Do Not Photo. You can't do that, so please be careful with student images. But you're going to want to probably disable comments, and you're definitely going to want to disable this because you don't want other people uploading pictures. So disable both of those. Just click them and they gray out. Go ahead and hit create once you have the title in. You can put a description if you want. And now you can attach files. So go back to your picture files, and I'm going to go back here to my pictures. And I'm just going to, oh gosh, how about Cookie Monster, and how about girl reading, and how about grade 3. Let's put those up there and let's see what happens. There we go. Now, it says you successfully, you can now see below them or add caption. So I'm going to add caption. And I can say Cookie Monster likes cookies. Notice it says make album cover. That's going to be the picture that will appear on the front of the album. So you can kind of do any of that. This girl likes to read. And, of course, 3rd grade. I'm not even going to put one on there. So I could make either one of these the album cover. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say make that one the album cover. Yep, I'm going to set the cover. And I'm going to save changes. Now I'm going to go up here where it says back to album. And I'm going to go back to media albums. And so now I have a medium album that says first week of school, and if somebody clicks on it, they'll see all the pictures that are in there. Now the other thing I can do is if I click on here, I can add a caption. So I can say 3rd grade rocks and hit save. Right, and I can go to the next, and I've got Cookie here. I could edit this caption and say Cookie likes cookies. Say save, and then you've got breadcrumbs up here, so I can use this to go back. So I'm going to go back to my media albums. Maybe there's first week of school. Now if I click there, now there's the captions show up underneath. Alright. If I'm in this album, let me go back to the media albums to show you again. Okay, so I'm in a media album. From here I can add another album. So I would have a second one here. So maybe you do, you get to your fall harvest or Halloween or whatever it is, and you take pictures. You can add an album and call it Halloween Fun. Remember to disable the comments, hit create, and we're just going to cancel that for now. There's nothing in your album, but if I go back to medium albums, you'll see that there are now 2 albums here. Now if I want to add media afterwards, I click there and I click on add media, and you get back here to the same thing. So you attach the files, pick some things up, Book Whisperer, Book Study, we'll do that. Add the media, and there you go. And do my breadcrumbs up here again. Back to media albums. So you can do that. The last thing you can do here is resources. Now, when I talked about your newsletters, this would be another way you could do it. You could post your newsletters in the updates. You could also then, if you wanted to, create a folder back here. So I clicked on Add Resources, Add Folder, and I could put on Newsletters. And let's make it orange. Now, if I click on the newsletters, I can add resources to here. So I can actually go and find, where are we at here? Add file. So I can go and find, remember I did that before, and I put in, we don't want that. Alright, we'll do this. And now the parents would have an archive of your newsletters that you're sending out. So I'm going to click here where it says resources. I can add more folders. I can add links. So I could have, maybe I'll have a folder that says reading info. Let's make that one green. And now within reading info, maybe I have links for the parents to go to, or I have some PDFs of things that they can print off and do with their kids. There's a lot of things that you can do with this. The other thing you can do in folders and when you're adding resources is you have the ability to link to your Google Drive. So I can go down here and say copy from resources. Go to my apps. You might have to approve it. Go ahead and approve. And now I have all of my things here that are in my Google Drive that I can also add. So Pages does not work really well when you add it though, just so you know. It's best to add, you can add images, or you can add, here's a PDF. I don't know what this is, but all I would do is click on it and go import file. And now that file is in there. So anything in your Google Drive you have available as well. Again, that's just add resources, copy from resources, go to your apps, click on what you want, click on the box. You can click multiple boxes. Go ahead and import file. There we go. And there you go. There is 3. There's the files you put in there. So let me go back to resources. So you could also do newsletters, reading, math, science, whatever folders you want. But then this is all available to the parents. The final step in this is how do the parents get this information? Well, I'm going to go back here to the start page. Mrs. Rogers, 3rd grade. What you're going to do is up here, you're going to click and you're going to copy that URL and put it into your newsletter that you're going to send home. And tell them all you have to do is type in this URL. Let me show you what's going to happen when they do that. I'm going to switch browsers here, and I'm going to log out. Alright, so they go into their browser, and it doesn't matter, Firefox, Chrome, doesn't matter, and they type in that URL that you gave them. Right now what it's going to do is it's going to send them to here. And that's unfortunate because it seems as though Schoology has changed how they're doing this, but it'll still work. It's FM parent and jackets. see if that works. There you go. And it takes you right to your page then. And yes, they're going to have to log in every time like that, but at least it gives you a place to now share all this information with parents.